Imagine this. It's a cold night in Philadelphia, in a rundown bingo hall. You're at an indie wrestling show, known for its deathmatch spectacles, violence, gore, light tubes, barbed wire, etc. But instead, you see two random British guys named Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm. And unbeknownst to you, they had just made history.
Shit, nasan aking salamin? Bakit ngayon di ko pa naiwan? Ang paligid pa naman ay madilim. Gitara lang ang nakikita. Ang
Fleisch was born on April 2nd, 1980. He fell in love with wrestling at an early age. He looked up to people like The Undertaker and The Ultimate Warrior. He started training at Hammerlock Wrestling School, where most of the FWA's talent used to train. People like Doug Williams, Scotty Rock, George Castano, Alex Singh, etc. Jody Fleisch did a lot of flips as he was a high flyer. He was a smaller guy. Another person Jody Fleisch would train with is a guy named Johnny Storm. The Wonder Kid Johnny Storm, sorry for misspelling your name in the title sequence, was born on April 19th, 1977. Like Fleisch, he trained at Hammerlock Wrestling School and wrestled a high-action style, but not as flippy as Jody. People also love Johnny Storm's heel work. He can be funny and mischievous at the exact same time. Every time Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch got into the ring, it was special. Now we know the stuff about the competitors in question, let's learn about the tournament. CZW's Best of the Best. The Best of the Best tournament, shortened as BOTB is a professional wrestling tournament held in CZW. The annual Best of the Best tournament was held only for the junior division by CZW founder John Zading to highlight the juniors, just like New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. The first 4 tournaments saw 3 men first compete in a 3-way elimination style matches in the first round, before then single elimination matches until a winner is decided. The tournament included stars and held classic matches such as Jay vs Mark Briscoe tearing the house down in a tremendous quarterfinal match in 14 minutes and 50 seconds, and both men getting a standing ovation. This might seem familiar in the future. The show starts off with an opening ceremony like any other tournament. They're introduced by Doomsday Danny Rose, who tried to get into the tournament but he couldn't. The wrestlers competing in the tournament are Ruckus, M-Dog20, Trent Acid, B-Boy, Super Dragon, Nick Burke, Tony Mamaluke, Max Fury, Johnny Cashmere, Gabriel, and of course Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm. In the first round, we have 3 ways. Trent Acid and M-Dog20 defeat Gabriel in 6 minutes and 6 seconds in an alright match, with M-Dog20 hitting a shooting star leg drop and Acid hitting M-Dog with a Yakuza kick to eliminate Gabriel. In the next 3-way round run, we have B-Boy, Nick Burke, and Super Dragon. Nick Burke gets eliminated by Super Dragon with a Psycho Driver number 2 in 7 minutes and 59 seconds. Next up, we have Ruckus vs Tony Mamaluke and Max Fury. Max Fury gets eliminated in 6 minutes and 3 seconds, with Ruckus hitting a cartwheel Phoenix Fast and Fury, and Tony Mamaluke hitting some sort of face first double arm hook driver to get the pin. Cool finish in my opinion. With the final match of the quarterfinals, we have Jody Fleisch, Johnny Storm, and Johnny Cashmere with a bat for some reason. During commentary, the Hitman says, "He's gonna win it all tonight, Eric!" And a few minutes later, Gabriel interferes and Johnny Storm rolls up Cashmere and eliminates him in 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch wrestled each other a few times before this, with the first time according to Cage Match on the 5th of the 4th, 1997 in a tag match in Hammerlock. Now we move on to the quarterfinal matches. In the first quarterfinal match, we have Trent Acid eliminating M-Dog20 in 20 minutes and 1 second with a Yakuza kick. Next, we have B-Boy vs Super Dragon in an amazing match, with Super Dragon taking some top-heavy bumps. B-Boy gets the victory at 15 minutes and 12 seconds with a disgusting German suplex with the arms trapped over the top rope, with Super Dragon landing on his head. Before we talk about the match you're here for, we have to talk about the semi-last quarterfinal, with Ruckus defeating Tony Mamaluke in 11 minutes and 32 seconds with a standing shooting star press. With all that out of the way, finally we're on the match we're here to talk about. The winner of the match will go against Ruckus in the semi-final. The date is the 8th of June 2002 in the ECW Arena in Philadelphia. It's a final quarterfinal match in CZW's Best of the Best tournament. In the early going of this match, these men are completely equal and moving at such a high pace. For example, Storm has Jody's arms pinned to the mat, and Jody somehow flips onto Storm's shoulders and lands on his feet. Flash runs the ropes and misses a baseball slide to Storm's leg. Storm bounces off the ropes, but Jody hits a spinning wheel kick. They rarely mess up, and they are wrestling at such a high pace. The only time they mess up is when Jody hits a shooting star press and almost misses Storm. It could have been way worse, like Davey Richards in 2009, where he landed on the ropes, and Jody himself actually when he broke his jaw in 2007. But luckily, Johnny Storm saved Jody in time. A spot I really love in this match is a breathtaking hurricanrana from the second rope. These guys are leaving the CZW fans speechless. Another spot I really love in this match is when Jody Fleisch runs up the wall and moonsaults onto Johnny Storm like Spider-Man. Storm gets the advantage again when he crushes Jody Fleisch on the guardrail and flips senton onto Fleisch on the floor. After a struggle on the top rope, Storm hits an amazing avalanche front crucifix from off the top rope, only a 2 count. Running, twisting hurricanrana from seemingly out of nowhere gets a 2 count. These men are going back and forth. A sequence of rope running which ends up with Fleisch looking for a wheelbarrow suplex attempted turns into a tornado DDT, another kick out. You can really feel the desperation on Jody Storm's face. Fleisch ends up on the apron looking for some springboard move, but mid-air Storm hits an astonishing powerbomb, and once again Fleisch kicks out with fighting spirit. The crowd are going insane. I love how Johnny Storm gets into the face of the referee like it's a football match, insisting it was a 3 count. Whip hip toss into the corner with Storm getting popped up on the second rope and jumping on Jody's shoulders with a hurricanrana. 2 count again. The match ends with both men brawling, fighting on the apron, and Jody hitting a 720 DDT for the 3 count in 12 minutes and 20 seconds and advancing to the semi-final against Ruckus. This match is amazing in my opinion. Before this match started, these guys were absolutely no one, and they are just chanting their name after the bout. It's amazing. Jody Fleisch shakes Jody Storm's hand after the match, showing that they still have respect for each other as wrestlers. After defeating Johnny Storm in a quarterfinal match, Fleisch would get past Ruckus in 6 minutes and 49 seconds, but sadly fought to Trent Acid in the final in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. But in my opinion, Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch stole the show. These guys were wrestling from the future. I saw a review on Cage Match which sums up this match as in a whole. I'll shorten it a bit. It read, and I quote, "These two guys ran in front of the CZW fans as nobodies and ended up with a standing ovation when the bell was rung. I have no doubt in my mind if these guys were around a decade later, they would be employed full-time by the big leagues." And with that being said, not bad for just 2 random British guys, eh?